Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because today, we're taking a deep dive into one of the most legendary names in the world of hypercars, a machine that has redefined performance, design, and exclusivity. That's right, we're talking about the 2026 McLaren P1, and not just any P1. This one's finished in a jaw-dropping white color that gives it an almost celestial, futuristic vibe. Now, when the original P1 debuted back in 2013, it was part of the holy trinity of hypercars alongside the LaFerrari and Porsche 918 Spider. It brought with it not just raw power but cutting-edge hybrid technology and Formula One-inspired design. Fast forward to 2026, and McLaren has reimagined the P1 for a new era, an era where performance is even more extreme, design is more sculpted than ever, and where hybrid power is no longer just a gimmick, but a fully integrated weapon of speed. So, in this full review, we're going to break down every inch of the 2026 McLaren P1. We'll start with the dramatic, sleek exterior, then dive into the high-tech, race-inspired interior. Then we'll get into the beastly performance that makes this car more spaceship than road car, and finally we'll talk numbers, including pricing, availability, and whether this car is really worth the insane cost. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for this one. Exterior. Alright, let's talk about the exterior, because let's be honest, the first thing that hits you about the 2026 P1 in white is just how otherworldly it looks. The design of this car is not just futuristic, it's like it time-traveled here from 20 years in the future. The white paint job, which McLaren is calling ceramic glacier white, has a liquid metal finish that plays with light like a sculpture. It's not just paint, it's a statement. It reflects every curve, every aerodynamic surface with purpose. Under sunlight, it almost glows with a pearlescent shimmer, and under city lights, it looks like a stealth fighter gliding through shadows. The front end has been updated subtly but powerfully. The signature McLaren headlights are now even slimmer and more aggressive, with laser-guided adaptive lighting tech and a new pattern that mimics the shape of McLaren's Speedmark logo. Below them, massive air intakes feed air into an even more efficient cooling system. The carbon fiber front splitter has grown wider and now includes active aero elements that adjust depending on speed and driving mode. The profile of the car remains true to the classic P1 silhouette, long, swooping, and organic. But McLaren has shaved weight and increased rigidity with even more exposed carbon fiber. The roof scoop is now fully integrated into the monocage carbon structure, and there's a new air curtain feature behind the front wheels that channels airflow more efficiently along the sides of the car. Move around to the back, and things get serious. The rear diffuser is practically race car grade, huge, aggressive, and functional. The active rear wing has been redesigned to deploy faster and create more downforce than the previous generation. And those taillights? Thin, blade-like LEDs that look like streaks of light when they illuminate. When the car is in track mode, the whole rear end lowers, the wing pops up, and you know the P1 is ready to attack. In white, all these black carbon fiber and gloss black elements really pop. It's a stunning contrast that brings out every functional surface of the car. This isn't just designed for beauty's sake, every line, every vent, every panel has a purpose. Aerodynamics, cooling, performance, it all works together in a symphony of speed. Interior. Slide into the cabin of the 2026 McLaren P1, and you quickly realize this is not a luxury cruiser. This is a fighter jet for the road. The cabin is a blend of cutting-edge tech and stripped-down purpose, just like the original P1, but now more advanced, more intuitive, and far more connected. First thing you'll notice is the lack of excess. McLaren believes in everything for a reason, and that's exactly what you get here. The seats are fixed-back carbon fiber shells wrapped in ultra-thin Alcantara with contrast stitching that matches the white exterior. They're lightweight, track-focused, but surprisingly comfortable thanks to updated foam inserts and an active posture system that adjusts for long-distance driving. The steering wheel is a thing of art. Completely round, finished in Alcantara, with no unnecessary buttons, just paddle shifters and haptic controls behind it. McLaren says it's modeled after the wheel used in their F1 car, and it shows. You feel connected to the road instantly. In front of you is a new generation digital instrument cluster that adapts based on your drive mode. In comfort mode, it gives you clean navigation and essential driving info. Switch to track mode, and it transforms into a full telemetry screen showing lap times, tire temps, G-forces, and live aero adjustments. There's even a new HUD that displays critical data right in your line of sight, using aero-style overlays. The center console is trimmed in gloss carbon, featuring a vertically stacked OLED touchscreen that runs McLaren's latest OS, fluid, responsive, and customizable. You can manage everything from suspension settings to launch control, and even access live data from McLaren's telemetry servers when connected. Sound system. Optional. McLaren has a bespoke lightweight system developed with Bowers and Wilkins, but most owners opt for the stripped-down configuration. In a car like this, the real soundtrack is that twin-turbo V8 behind your ears. Storage is minimal, as expected, but you do get a small front trunk, just enough for a weekend bag or helmet. This is a car built for driving, not for road trips. The focus is pure, speed, control, and engagement. Performance. Now we get to the real reason you're here, the performance. And let me just say, McLaren has gone absolutely bonkers with the 2026 P1. At the heart of the beast is an evolved version of McLaren's 4.0-liter twin-turbocharged V8, paired with a next-gen hybrid system that includes a liquid-cooled axial flux electric motor. Together, this powertrain produces a mind-bending 1,200 horsepower and over 1,100 lb-ft of torque. That's nearly 200 horsepower more than the original P1. Let that sink in. 0 to 60. Just 2.3 seconds. 0 to 124 miles per hour. Around 5.8 seconds. Top speed. Electronically limited to 230 miles per hour, but McLaren claims the unrestricted version has done 250 mph plus in closed testing. Quarter mile. Just under 9.5 seconds, and this is still a road-legal car. But it's not just the numbers, it's the feel. Thanks to a new dual-clutch 8-speed gearbox and recalibrated e-boost torque vectoring, the acceleration is smoother and more violent than ever. Instant torque from the electric motor fills in the gaps between gear changes, and the result is seamless, savage acceleration from any speed. The new battery pack is more compact but higher capacity, with a 30-mile electric-only range, perfect for city driving or sneaking out of your neighborhood early in the morning. Charge times are down, too, under an hour with fast charging, and it can recoup energy under braking much faster thanks to the improved KRS system. Speaking of brakes, McLaren has fitted this car with next-gen carbon ceramic discs that are larger and lighter than before. The brake feel is firm, responsive, and fade-free, even after multiple hot laps. And thanks to the car's active aero, the P1 now uses air braking more aggressively than ever. You'll feel the car dig in under heavy braking from 200 miles per hour. Suspension. It's McLaren's Proactive Chassis Control 3, with adaptive damping, predictive road scanning, and a new Hyperride mode that allows the car to squat under hard launches for maximum grip. On the road, it feels firm but not punishing. On the track, it becomes a scalpel, precise, sharp, and communicative. Put it all together, and the 2026 P1 is not just fast, it's confidence-inspiring. You always feel like the car is working with you, not against you. It's accessible, even as it tears a hole through time and space. Prices and final thoughts. Now, let's talk about the cost, because let's be real, all this madness doesn't come cheap. The base price of the 2026 McLaren P1 is an eye-watering $2.3 million. That's before options, before customization, before delivery. Start adding MSO bespoke upgrades, like that stunning white paint, exposed carbon fiber body panels, titanium exhaust, or track package, and you're easily looking at $2.8 million or more. McLaren is only building 375 units worldwide, just like the original P1. And almost all of them are spoken for. If you're lucky enough to get an allocation, you're part of an extremely exclusive club, one that represents the bleeding edge of performance and design. Is it worth it? That's a tough question. For 99.9% of us, probably not, but for the elite few who can afford it, the 2026 P1 is more than a car. It's a piece of rolling history. It's a benchmark. A statement. And in white, it's not just beautiful, it's iconic. Outro. Alright folks, that wraps up our full in-depth review of the 2026 McLaren P1 in ceramic glacier white. Let me know in the comments, is this the best hypercar of the decade so far? Would you take it over a Rimac Nevera or a Ferrari SF90XX? If you enjoyed this review, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. We've got more insane cars coming your way very soon. Thanks for watching, and as always, drive safe, dream big, and keep pushing forward. See you in the next one.